Am I the idiot for upstaging the bride and refusing to change my dress? So my female 27 cousin, female 29, is soon getting married. The thing is, our families have been in no contact for the last 10 to 12 years because of some issues between our fathers in total, for brothers who hated each other. The feud recently came to an end because all the kids are grown up now and we kind of want to keep our differences aside and enjoy the upcoming events. We all had a little reunion. This issue started with my cousin's engagement party. Now I want to highlight that I take good care of myself. I do yoga and dance to stay fit. On some special occasions, I love to dress up a lot. It makes me feel good and confident. My cousin is a doctor and due to her schedule, she has put on some weight, but I respect her because her profession is tougher than mine. I am an engineer. For her engagement, I wore a nice beautiful peach-colored gown. It wasn't a new one, this was a 3-year-old gift from someone. We are Indians and brides generally prefer to wear lehengas or saris. Even though we have reconciled as a family, my sister never involved me with her planning or anything related to her wedding and I was totally okay with that. When me and my mother arrived at the location of the event, all was good but the bride was late. People from the groom's side welcomed us nicely and I was feeling great. My cousin was almost 2 hours late but when she arrived with her 2 besties, I could feel the tension between us rising high. To my horror, she was wearing a peach-colored gown exactly like mine but it was more glittery. Only the bottom part of our dress was slightly different. She went on without acknowledging my existence. My mom noticed me but told me to relax as it was an accident and to enjoy myself. She went ahead to help my auntie with further preparations. I took a seat in the corner with my other cousin. When I was talking to him, one of the bride's besties came to talk. I thought she was there to invite me to join them but she straight up told me to change my dress. I was speechless. I told her no because 1. There was nothing else to wear and 2. My house was several kms away and it would take me almost 2 hours to do so. She started suggesting different options for buying a new dress or she could lend me some clothes. I firmly told her no. My mom and dad were unaware of all this. She kept arguing with me but gave up. When the ceremony started my cousin was looking fine and smiled at me because, in the end, she was getting engaged to the love of her life. We both got lots of compliments, and I thought the drama was over. But her friends kept giving me side eyes throughout the event and today one of them tried to contact me on Instagram. The most hurtful thing was the fact that there was an after party thrown by the bride and groom for all the cousins and their special friends, but I wasn't invited. I kind of feel like an idiot. But I need an honest opinion. Not the idiot, but wondering why you felt the need to describe that you take better care of yourself than your cousin and state that she's put on weight. Especially if you say such things don't matter. What was your intent? Also, you said you like to dress fancy when going out. Was your dress in line with what other guests were wearing? You only describe it in relation to your cousin's dress, so I'm curious to know if other guests wore dresses as formal as yours sounds. And your own title claims you upstaged the bride. Why would you want to do that? Lastly, you said you lived several kms away and it would take you over 2 hours to change. Exactly how many kms away because 2 hours seems excessive. You can't upstage the bride and then be mad she doesn't want you at the after party. Changing my not the idiot to soft you're the idiot. Comment 2. Info: did your dress match the formality of the event? Were other women in gowns and men in suits or tuxes? Then the original poster responded with, there was no particular dress code for the event. Anyone could wear anything. Now for the update. Well, a lot has happened since I made the post here. First, I want to thank you all for giving an honest opinion. One thing that I noticed, all the Indians who commented on my post told me that I am not the idiot. Let me clear out a few things. I don't hate my cousin the bride. I am not petty or mean and this dress incident was totally unintentional. Her friend said that I was upstaging the bride, which was not the case. During the ceremony I tried to keep a low profile even though it wasn't my fault. I compared our looks and weight because it had been literally a competition between us since childhood to look better than each other, which was really childish and created more issues in our family. And I thought her friends were mean to me because of our previous issues. So for an update. A few days ago, my and bride's mom called my mom. They were having this general discussion about further planning for the wedding. Then my aunt told my mom that I would be beside the bride on stage during the wedding. It was a shock for me because it's like getting a maid of honor position. I quickly texted my cousin to thank her, and we talked for the first time after her engagement. We decided to meet up for a coffee. At the coffee shop, I brought up the topic of our matching dress and she told me she was shocked at first but later totally forgot about it. I also asked her why she was choosing me over her friends to be on stage. She gave a few reasons why they are not punctual and irresponsible, and can be very demanding sometimes, and I am literally her family. As I mentioned, she was actually looking very happy during her engagement. She also told me that she was a bit disappointed that I wasn't there at the after party, and her soon-to-be husband was also asking for me. From her talk, one thing I know is that she is not aware about her friends being mean to me and lying about me. Cousin and I are on good terms. At the end, we ate some delicious burgers and had fun. I also showed her my dress, which I will be wearing at her wedding, super glittery light green color lehenga. I am still unsure if I should tell her about her bestie, or just let it go. I just want to enjoy the wedding without any further drama. Comment 1. Yay! Glad you two sorted things out. I personally wouldn't tell her about her bestie. There's no reason to add fuel to the drama, and it kinda sounds like she's aware of the kind of people her friends are. Comment 2. Let it go. Her friend was trying to look out for her. Maybe she did say something in the beginning and let it go but had not told the friend. 1. Comment 3. Not the idiot just ignores what her friends did unless they try to cause trouble at the wedding. Then tell her everything afterwards. Now, for the next story. Am I the idiot for refusing to invite my racist in-laws though they apologized? When my husband and I got married a decade ago, we had no money and so really couldn't afford much. My husband felt so bad about it all because unlike me he comes from money. But because his family was against our marriage, I'm Asian, he's white, they completely cut him off. For the record, I wasn't expecting financial assistance from them, but it hurt that just because I'm Asian, they thought I was with my husband only for the money. Naturally, we haven't had any contact with his side of the family since. Well, for our upcoming 10th wedding anniversary, we can now afford to splurge a little, so we've decided to have a vow renewal ceremony in style. Given how terrible it has been mentally for all of us over the last 2 years, we decided on a trip abroad to relax, have fun, and just enjoy a vacation with those closest to us. And because my parents wouldn't be able to afford to come otherwise, we've gifted the entire trip to them as a thank you for everything they've done for us. Somehow his family has learned that, hey, not only am I not a gold digger but that my husband and I are doing well for ourselves and are about to celebrate our 10th anniversary. They reached out to us with an apology and an offer of a gaudy monstrosity of a ring to use for our vow renewal ceremony. I'm not interested in their token non-apology, and certainly have no intention of wearing something that's not at all to my taste just for the sake of familial harmony. Plus, my engagement ring was a gift from my mom. It was my grand's engagement ring that my mom also wore, so it has incredible sentimental value. My husband was behind me 100% until he learned from his sister that his grandmother was dying and that she wished to mend things with him. I reluctantly agreed to the visit but made sure we came to an agreement on a few things beforehand, including how his family aren't invited to our vow renewal, and I'm not wearing their ring. Unfortunately, she passed away before we could visit, and his family have been hounding and guilt-tripping both of us ever since, trying to get us to invite them to our ceremony. I refused, but my husband's wavering. He kept saying they apologized, they haven't really, and that we could educate them. When he wouldn't let it go, I basically told him that since he's not Asian, he has no right to accept an apology and extend forgiveness for racism perpetrated against an Asian, and that it's not my responsibility to educate racists on why racism is wrong. And honestly, my parents shouldn't have to deal with racists on what should be a vacation. He said he understood and apologized to me, but he's been distant. I don't want to go ahead with our trip when things are so awkward between us, but everyone has already committed financially, and we can't afford to refund them all. And I'm now wondering if I'm an idiot for not trying harder with his family. Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. It's pretty extreme to go from no contact for 10 years to let's all go on a vacation together. I think it's very reasonable to do the trip as planned with your parents. And if your husband is wanting to reconnect with his family, maybe start with lunch, not a vacation. Comment 2. Not the idiot. They never sat down and reflected on their racist judgment of you. They never learned anything about themselves and their preconceptions. They just waited too long to keep insisting they were right. Their change of tune is a reaction to your external circumstances, not their internal growth. Then the original poster responded with, and honestly, they haven't grown. Their apology didn't contain a single word of actual apology to me, just to my husband. Now for the update. Per your suggestions, I told my husband that our vow renewal is not the place for us and his family to have a reunion, given that this is to be a celebration of the past 10 years of our marriage, something his family had no part in and were vehemently against. If they wish to apologize and start over, we could meet for lunch or coffee after our trip. He then confessed to what some of you had guessed his family knew about the vow renewal because he kept in regular contact with his sister, and he told her to let the rest of the family know about the event in hopes that we could mend things. Since it's been 10 years, he thought they'd see they were wrong about me and wrong to cut him off. It was why he kept pressuring me to forgive them despite their lack of an apology or any show of change, because he hoped that if we all just met, things would work itself out, and he'd be welcomed back into the fold. The guilt over going behind my back and sadness over what happened was why he'd been so withdrawn. I was furious and hurt that he lied to me for a decade. It was a lie of omission, but a lie all the same, and while I understood clinging on to hope that his racist family would one day see the light, I couldn't understand why he never once asked for an apology from his sister, or if she was even sorry for the terrible things she'd said to me. I needed some time, so I moved back in with my parents. While I was gone, his parents and his sister came for a visit. Unfortunately, the reunion wasn't what he hoped for. They were completely unrepentant, and their renewed racist vitriol against me was worse. He also learned why they were so adamant about attending our vow renewal when they were still clearly against our marriage, as many of you thought. They just wanted a free vacation. As for the gaudy monstrosity of a ring, it was to be alone for just the duration of the ceremony. He was furious, and he kicked them all out, and this time he went full no contact. He profusely apologized for lying and begged me to forgive him for his stupidity. We're seeking marriage counseling, and though we still have a long way to go, we're definitely on the same page, especially with respect to his family. We've also decided to turn our trip into just a vacation. All of the guests understand and are looking forward to decompressing on a warm sandy beach. Oh, and his grandmother's will was an interesting read. My husband ended up inheriting a part of her estate, and best of all, she left the gaudy monstrosity of a ring to me. I'm not sure what to do with the thing. My friends are divided on whether I should offer to sell it to mother-in-law or keep it, and horrify them with the reality that their piece of history is being owned by an Asian. My husband doesn't care either way, and I look forward to your suggestions. Thank you all so much for your help. Comment 1. Keep the ring. Maybe Grandma repented being a horrid racist. You'll never know now, but you can hope. And gaudiness can go in and out of style. If you have kids, maybe one of them will want it one day. Or you can donate it to a charity auction if it's worth anything. Comment 2. Dude, I would wear the monstrosity and take 1,000,000 pictures in different outfits and different places, and then periodically post them publicly where at least the sister can see it, and pass it along that the evil DIL had their precious family jewelry. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.